Michael, first off, just a lot of talk about Bailey Cadamarteri, the latest injuries picked up. What is the situation there?
Yeah, not great news. Bailey, when he had his groin injury before, we knew his high recurrence rate with that. So he obviously came back in for a little bit, but he's felt it again. So we think that could be pretty bad news for him. So it's looking more like that the season's probably done for him here. He's going to go back to Sheffield Wednesday and get reassessed, which is a big shame because I thought he started to really get going and we saw some really good moments with him before he got injured, and then unfortunately he's got injured. I think that will be I think that'll be him for the season, but you never know. So we'll try, and we're in constant discussion with Wednesday, but because there's not many games left, by the time he gets back he's probably done really.
Oh, it's such a shame, isn't it, for him as well as getting that season-long loan, hoping to get as many games as he did. Obviously, he's had a couple of injuries in this kind of last second half of the season. Yeah,
I thought he's been great. I think when you come on your first loan, if you like, as a young man, Bailey's been fantastic here in the building. I'm sure he's learned a lot about League One football and the challenges, and at times he scored some great goals for us. And I think he's been progressing really nicely, and all first loans are a challenge for different reasons, but I think he was learning loads around the place with the senior pros, made some good connections with the lads and was seen as one of the lads. So it's a real, he's more disappointing, I feel, for him really, because he really wanted to get back going and have a run of like the last 8 games and getting the team to score some more goals. So I think he's more disappointed than anyone, which he would be as players. But it's just a fact. It's just reoccurred a little bit, and the reality is he's 19, and we have to look after him. Wednesday have to look after him, because what you don't want to do is push him to force him to play games, if you like, and do some real damage. So it's more so getting right and getting him right, ready to go next season, I think now.
On the injury front, Ethan Iran, how is he progressing?
Yeah, he's progressing nicely, but still a bit of time off. He's running on the grass, so that's excellent news. He's not with team training yet, but he's started running on the grass. So we'll probably see him in and around a few weeks. It's hard to say at the moment because we need to rescan and see how that's healing. So with Ethan's injury, we need to keep rescanning it to making sure that we're seeing the repair going well, because again, with a tendon injury, you don't want that to come back out of nowhere. So it's a bit of a steady process for him, but I hope to see him 5-6 games, maybe rest of the season. That's what we're hoping for Ethan.
And Freddie Copeland?
Freddie's out still at the moment. He's got a bit of a hit from the Birmingham game, but he's a lot closer. So he's on the grass. He'll be back in team training this week, no doubt. But he's probably more 10 days, 14 days off.
What's it been like? Don Jeffrey says you've had a bit more time on the training ground this week now in that midweek game. How crucial has that been, do you think, for yourself?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great just to lay down how we want to do things, principles, reconfirm things. It's been fantastic. It's always nice. It's always nice to get a clean week, a clear week. But they've had a clear week as well, so it's going to be a really tough game, because if they have a clear week, we have a clear week, it matches it up. Sometimes I think when they don't have a clear week and we do, and vice versa, that's where it can be a benefit. But we've been on the grass working hard, and another 3 points is what we need. And I think it's a really big 3 points for us, because it tips us over that 50 mark, which is what we definitely want to do.
Yeah, and the chance in this kind of running, I guess, just to build some momentum, if it doesn't lead to anything this year, to have that momentum going into next season.
Yeah, I think we said we want to get to the 50 mark, get over that 50 mark line, and then we can look at every game as it comes and how we want to do things. But like you say, we always want to win games. So I think it's up to them. They've got everything to play for. There's professional footballers, how they want to play for things, and it's important to us. So I think you saw that on Saturday. Really, we could have at 1-0, 2-0, not 2-0, not carried on going, and the lads have carried on going to get the goals and carry on pushing. So. Yeah, we want to replicate a similar performance that we put in on Saturday, because I thought it was one of the best performances over 90 minutes for the whole season. So we want to keep pushing and keep replicating that, and the more that we keep pushing and replicating, we keep getting the standards there, and we want to do that. But it'll be a different game for sure. It'll be a totally different game with Exeter, who like to dominate the ball a lot. So it's going to be tough for us to go after it.
It was quite a battle up there, or down there, I should say, at the start of the season, near the start of the season. What are you expecting this time around?
Yeah, really similar battle. I thought they had the better first half down there, and we had the better second half, but we couldn't really create enough open, clear chances to win the game. But I thought second half we got after them, and we were good. But again, they've got some really good players. They probably dipped a little bit in form, probably like ourselves really. But now they're coming out of that and tailing out of that, a bit like ourselves. So they definitely want to finish the season strong as well, and push for points. So it's going to be a tough game for us. But like I say, nothing's done yet. We want to get over that 50 points mark, and I think the next 3 points on Saturday are really important for us to go after.
MJ recently has gone back to Peterborough Sports as well. How important was it for him just to go and get some more game time and to go and get minutes?
Yeah, really important. I think with the MJ scenarios and some of the other, Oshin obviously went out to Boston. They're still training with us every day, so I think that's the thing to be really clear of with people. They're not out the building. They go and train extra on a Thursday night or whenever it is, and then they're in the team and playing. So one thing we haven't got is a 21s program where we can offer a consistent games program. So I think those loans are really good for MJ and other people, where they can train with us every day, but they're out there playing the games program. We can have a look at him, and the coaching staff get the clips sent, so we know how well they're doing, and then we can see them progressing in training every day as well.
Is that something you're looking again for next year, that you build these relationships with clubs that you can then go and send these players to get a good solid amount of games under their belt?
Yeah, we have to, especially with the young lads. Especially with the young lads who we want to see more of, and we know it's going to take a bit of time to grow. We have to have those relationships, and the better relationships we have, we can manage that, if you like. And part of it's senior football. Part of it isn't the tactics and all the things you think about. Part of it is them playing senior games and the rough and tumble and the physicality of playing against seasoned pros, if you like, even though they may have dropped down a level. And it is probably the highest level where we can keep them in the building and take them out on loan, because if we send them any higher, obviously they have to go out, for longer and not train with us. So it's one way of us keeping an eye on them, but another way of them getting their games program that we can't offer them at the moment.
Zane had been at Bournemouth. Is he back with you yet?
Yeah, Zane's back into training. He's back in there. He's had a great, we call it work experience, but it's not quite that, is it? It's a great experience with Bournemouth, which is great. I think he's done really well. But it's not surprised me. I've seen Zane every day for months now, because we brought him up to senior training quite a time ago, actually, around the FA Cup at Chesham, when he did really well on that day, and he's been with us ever since. So he's been dropping back into the 18s and the day before on a -1 to do the tactical stuff, but he's been with us pretty much in and out every day, and he trains really hard. He's a great young lad. He was here over Christmas training as well. But I see his quality every day. I see his physicality. He's not the biggest, but he's strong, he's physical. And he's a very good prospect for us. So there's no doubt, when I saw him against Man City, how well he did at the 18-21s level. He can go and dominate. For me, it's can he push for a little bit of a place here in the squad, which is always exciting when you have those young players in the building.
And how important is it for those young players? I know Sean Rowan had something similar before your time here, but to have that experience, to go and train with some of the best players in the country.
Yeah, I think it's more important for him to go and show his level against his own peers, of the Category 1 players in his age group, but no doubt he'll come back to the senior level, League One, and he'll have to be at it again, because it's different. It's a very different level here than it was at 21s, 18s that I've been in. But when he can go and go do his stuff against the best of his own age, if you like, in Premier League Cat 1s, it's a great work experience for him, and he learns both sides of the game. And I think he's gone in there and done really, really well. So we're happy about that, and now it's time for him to come back and keep pushing.